So for you spice lovers out there, for tea tonight I am doing a Jamaican jerk chicken. So I'm going to make a jerk sauce. And I thought, well, I might as well record it while I'm there. It's one to have. It's good. I'm doing it with chicken, but you can put other things in if you want to do fish or whatever, or vegetables. And it's served with a spring onion and black bean rice. So rice and beans is kind of a thing. So without further ado, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So first thing, I'm going to add what I've got, some fresh bay leaves. You can use the dried ones if you want, but best if you can get fresh leaves. I normally use about 3, and all I'm doing here is I'm cutting, you know, the little stalk out, the rib in the middle. It's easy, you can rib it out, but all I want to do is I want to avoid just the hard bit of stalk. So I've got a few small ones as well. These have been in the freezer. So I've got a fresh bay leaf outside tree. So when they're looking like they need cutting back or whatever, I sometimes just save them and stick them in the freezer. Because I do use it all the time, to be fair. So let's get on with it. I've got some spring onions. So go in with our kind of our solid ingredients first. So these are nice and clean, and I want about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stick them all in. Let's call it a bunch of spring onions there. All it'll do is it might make the texture a little bit, it'll be nice, but it'll make the texture slightly thick. And all I'm doing is I'm taking the roots off, which I need my little bin for, and just the raggedy ends on the top. That's it there. They're off, and I'm just gonna cut them in a couple of pieces, straight in the blender. So get those in there. Talking of things, I haven't got me thyme. I need some thyme in this. So fresh thyme. Ideally, the stuff you get from the supermarkets. I'll go and get the plant. I'll be back in a second. Ideally, the stuff from the supermarkets is very soft and tender at the tips. The garden stuff that you buy, or the stuff you buy, kind of, you know, in the packets, sometimes has the hard woody stems. So in which case, if it's got the hard woody stems, you need to take the leaves off. So pick them off. Just you hold it and just strip it back with your fingers. Because this is nice and soft, all I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a bit of a haircut. So it's that haircut. It's all right. So going on. Actually, I'm going to leave this to last. This is it. This is Scotch bonnet chili. Now this will blow your socks off, and anything else you touch, it'll blow off, if you know what I mean. So to counter that, I've got some of these blighters, the old blue gloves. So you know, you learn by your mistakes. That's all I'm saying. Blue gloves. The other way is to coat your hand in oil, and it'll stop it going directly into your skin and wash the oil off straight away. So I'll leave that till last. Let's get in with me liquids. Oh, solids. We've done solids first, haven't we? Of course we are. We're doing solids first. So I want 4 nice fat garlic cloves, finely chopped. That's going to chop it finely for me. Brilliant. Get that in there. Nice. So before we move on to our liquids, let's move on to our spices. So I've got, and again I should have been prepared. Anyway, I'll come back. I'll come back to the nutmeg. I need a grater. That's all it is. So I've got ground cloves. That is, yeah, definitely ground cloves. And I want a large pinch. So I use for a pinch the back of a teaspoon, and I want about kind of that much, just the tip of the back of a teaspoon, if that makes sense. Get that in there. So I've got ground cloves. I've got ground, we got the name, allspice. So this is very nice. This is some of your authentic flavours coming in. So same again, about the tip of a teaspoon. Get it in there. And I've even got some on the board, which is brilliant, isn't it? Let's get that in there as well. Be back in a second. Got to go and get me grater. So, yeah, we put the nutmeg in. So I want fresh nutmeg. Don't use the ground stuff. Honestly, if you have to, you have to. But it's so easy to get hold of. Honestly, and I'm going to put a few rasps in there. I mean, I put about just less than a quarter of nutmeg. Probably a bit less. Just probably a little bit less than a quarter. And that's that done. I want some salt. Get me salt in. And I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to move my ingredients away that I've added, so I know where I am. Because I like to work methodically. I like to work in order. And I know all of these are going in, so it doesn't actually matter which order I do them. And I want about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And I use sea salt. I use the flakes of the molten sea salt flakes, which is good because I like it, and it's a much better flavour. Most of the chefs use that. I'm not a chef. I know. I'm not a chef. Anyway, so that being tidy the mess, Jason. Get sorted out what you're playing at. There we go. Get your mess tidied. So before I get into the Scotch bonnet, let's get into the liquids. So I want about 2 tablespoons of runny honey. Runny honey. Even that's it. I could put them on tablespoon. That is, but it'll just stick it up and then it won't measure very well for the rest of the stuff. And I've got, not for consumption, just for cooking, I've got some rum. Now we're getting to Jamaica. We're getting there now, aren't we? Here we are. I only buy it when it's on offer, and I only use it for this dish, to be fair. I'm sure I could do like rum and raisin ice cream or stuff like that, but I want 6 tablespoons in there. So 1, you counting, I know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. 6 tablespoons of that. And we want some, our little favourite, white wine vinegar. So let's get about 5 tablespoons of white wine vinegar. Now be careful, just word of warning, be careful with this one. If you don't get this right, you'll totally throw out the balance of the dish. You really will, and you'll make it way too acidic. So just carefully, I want about 5. I'm actually going under. Normally I think the recipe's 6, but I go under because I can always add a bit. I can't take it back out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hey, look at that there. Slightly shy of the 5, but don't worry, because in Jason style, in Jason fashion, we have another one. Don't get caught out. Always have a spare. Always know when you're running out of stuff. Get your old thing in order. And I want a drizzle of olive oil. So this is not extra virgin, because I'm going to cook with it. So if it was for a dressing or something like that, extra virgin, cooking with anything like that, olive oil, I'm going to put about a tablespoon or 2 in there. Now we come to the part where we need the gloves. So these are the wrong size. These too small. I should have got the bigger size, but anyway, clearly I thought my hands were more delicate than they really are. But the piano fingers, I do play the piano and other things. I'm playing the drums and bass drum playing the bass guitar and other bits and pieces I'm learning at the same time. But saxophones, playing a couple of saxophones as well. Anyway, that's aside. I don't even know what I mentioned. Oh yeah, fingers, delicate fingers. So let's clinically remove the seeds. So you can leave them in at your peril. I'm taking the seeds out and everything in there. And actually, it's the heat. I mean, the heat. The talk about it's been in they're mainly in the seed. It isn't. It's the membrane that surrounds the seeds. So we'll get that in. Get this one in. Now, if you think it's going to be too hot, don't put a full one in. I've made it with half a one, and I always think I'll put I'm just being careful. Now I'm going to de-glove back to front so they're inside out, and that's going in there. That's it. We're safe. We're safe now. And we're going to blitz this up, and that's it. So I'm going to make a smoked sauce, it'll be sauce-ish, but we need to make it smooth. So that's going to take a little while. When I say a little while, 30 seconds, something like that. I'll get tidied up, and then what I'm going to do is I've got some chicken. I tend to buy them in big things, and I use my backpack machine to preserve and keep them, because once you do them like that, you can either put them in the freezer and they'll keep without getting freezer burn, and they'll last longer in the freezer, or just makes it more hygienic down and stuff like that. And I'm going to griddle these. I've got a machine. You would have, wouldn't you? Yeah, I've got a machine over there. I'm going to do them on there, but you could do them on it just as easy on a griddle pan. That's how I used to do it on the griddle pan. But I'm adapting this particular recipe because you normally use fries. So I'm adapting this one. That's probably done now. And there we go. That's a nice little, I say, sauce. It's very warm. It's fairly smooth. That's good. So there's no lumps in. All the big bits of garlic and stuff are gone. And I'll come to what we're going to do with that when we do the chicken. But essentially, I'm going to put that in a pan, bring it up to the boil, and I'm going to cook it till it reduces down and gives me a bit of a syrupy consistency. Then I'm going to dip my finger in, and I'm going to try it and rebalance any flavours that we need to. So if it needs a bit more sweet, we can put a bit more sweet in. It's not getting any more heat, that'll be it. But one thing, always remember, to counter heat, sweet. So it's not, don't just think of like yogurt or anything, because there's no yogurt going to go in this. Sweet can counter heat. So think of it like pleasure and pain. So chilies fire off the old, cause fire the pain sensors. So our brain releases endorphins or fires off to say endorphins. You're in bother. So that makes you feel better. So that's hence why people do like chili, because it's a bit the old pain and pleasure thing. But the sweet is also the pleasure senses, so you can't hit yourself in both sides. Anyway, I won't bore you with that. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll balance it, check the seasoning, and we'll make the rice. So that's it for now. I might crack on and do the rice now, and then we'll go from there. So that's it. We'll see you at the next stage. Bye for now.